Now at 6 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, Port Lavaca police arrest a suspect on sex abuse of a child charges. A stolen tractor was found and returned to its owner in Victoria. And Governor Abbott adds more counties to a disaster declaration for severe weather.
Well, that severe weather actually rolled just to the north of us last night. We were very lucky we didn't get any of that severe weather, but we'll be talking about what Houston has in store for this weekend. For us, we're doing better. We'll be talking more about that in just a moment.
The state season is here. We're here in Austin for the state UIL track and field meets, and it's just day one, and well, we get to see Class 3 and 4A in action today.
You're watching 25 News now at 6. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Don Brubaker. Karina Garcia is off tonight. Port Lavaca police arrested a 34-year-old suspect Tuesday. William Harris is charged with continuous sex abuse of a child under the age of 14. Harris is in the Calhoun County Jail in lieu of $150,000 bond. In Fort Worth, 6 people were injured in a shooting Wednesday night. It happened near an apartment complex. Police say 4 children were injured. The victims ranged in age from 3 to 19. So far, police have not announced any arrests or details on what led up to the gunfire. Authorities said they were shot by someone in a vehicle that drove by them while they were outside the apartments. The investigation is ongoing. In San Antonio, police arrested a juvenile suspect nearly 2 months after a 17-year-old girl was found strangled to death and left in a ditch. Police did not release the name of the suspect accused of killing Caitlin Hernandez because he is under 17 years old. Police said the teen was arrested based on DNA evidence and is facing capital murder charges. Police believe Caitlin was strangled and possibly sexually assaulted. Caitlin's family said they have known the suspect the last couple of years. Just after 10 this morning, Victoria police responded to a burglary at Mack Hike Ford in the 4500 block of North Navarro. A small tractor was reported stolen from a construction area there overnight. Police found the stolen tractor a short time later and returned it to the owner. It was found in a parking lot at an apartment complex off Navarro. No suspects or arrests so far have been made in this case. North of Houston, flooding in the downtown Livingston area after severe storms moved through early Thursday. Overnight, state responders assisted with multiple high water rescues in central and southeast Texas. Governor Greg Abbott today expanded the state's disaster declaration to include 59 counties in at-risk areas for severe weather and flooding, with the updated disaster declaration covering 88 counties in total. A tornado was caught on camera forming in the Texas Panhandle last night. The tornado was confirmed about 7 miles west of Clarendon in Donley County. At about 4 p.m., a tornado warning was issued for Donley County's central portion, including Clarendon, which is about 60 miles east of Amarillo. The tornado stayed west of Clarendon and dissipated before reaching the city. The National Weather Service also reported golf ball-sized hail with the storm. And now let's take a first look at your forecast. Here's First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Mac Pettis. By the way, the National Weather Service, Mac, said there were 24 tornadoes total in Texas for the month of April this year.
Yes, you know, springtime is usually a volatile time of year, but this one has just gotten probably 30–40% busier and more severe than standard. So it has been a very interesting month. Folks, you know, the stormy weather that hit Houston came right by us. I mean, it missed us by maybe 50–100 miles. You can see the stormy weather rolling in there toward the southeastern side, but just to the north of the city of Houston, they had 5 to 10 inches of rain. Now they got to figure out how all that water is going to go through those bayous. We'll be talking more about that and take a look at your weekend coming up in a moment.
Mac, thank you. The Texas Department of Emergency Management continues to clean up a hazardous spill in Goliad County. 25 News Now reporter Darius McCormick is in the studio with more information. Darius, what caused that spill in Goliad County?
A tanker truck carrying about 5,700 gallons of gas flipped over back on April 21st. A Texas Department of Public Safety right-of-way and private property felt the impacts of the spill. The Goliad County Groundwater Conservation District explained the gasoline went into the ground rather than pooling on the surface. The gas seeping into the ground made the fix much tougher. We reached out to the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality, or TCEQ, about the situation. They had this to say. On April 22, 2024, TCEQ responded on site to provide oversight and technical assistance. TCEQ will continue oversight of the remedial efforts. TCEQ also contacted a representative of the company responsible for the truck as they continue to investigate the situation. Don, back to you.
Darius, thank you. Wednesday, delegates at the United Methodist Church General Conference reversed a bill that bans, quote, practicing homosexuals from being appointed as ministers, unquote. First United Methodist Church of Victoria Pastor Wade Powell told us that church will stay with United Methodist. He said over the past 2 years they have thought about leaving United, but about a year ago they decided to stay with United Methodist. Powell said it's an opportunity for First Church to grow and that it's not about issues, it's about people. The Corpus Christi Police Department announced the information for Officer Kyle Hicks's Celebration of Life service. It will be next Tuesday from 1 to 3 p.m. at the First Baptist Church, 3115 Ocean Drive in Corpus Christi. Officer Hicks was shot while responding to a domestic disturbance call on April 20th. Officer Hicks died last Wednesday. A Corpus Christi police officer. The past 2 years, Hicks left behind a wife and 4 children. As college campus protests and attempts to stop them spread from New York to Los Angeles and many states in between, President Biden finds himself caught in a series of political and diplomatic issues without an easy solution.
President Joe Biden is addressing the pro-Palestinian protests taking place on college campuses.
It needs to be done without violence, without destruction, without hate.
While speaking at the White House, the president said the National Guard would not be deployed, but said that the images coming in from across the country have, quote, put to the test 2 fundamental American principles.
First is the right to free speech and for people to peacefully assemble and make their voices heard. The second is the rule of law. Both must be upheld.
Up until now, Biden has largely avoided speaking about the protests.
There should be no place on any campus, no place in America for anti-Semitism or threats of violence against Jewish students. There is no place for hate speech or violence of any kind, whether it's anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, or discrimination against Arab Americans or Palestinian Americans.
While Biden navigates protest at home, he's also navigating a highly sensitive moment in the Gaza war, as Israel and Hamas pursue a fresh proposal to secure the release of hostages held by Hamas and pause the fighting. An outcome some advisors hope could lower the temperature at home, ahead of the contentious 2024 presidential election. A recent CNN poll shows that 71% disapprove of Biden's handling of the war in Gaza, including an 81% disapproval mark from voters younger than 35 and a majority disapproval among Democrats. Reporting at the White House, I'm Julia Benbrook.
Here's your viewer poll this evening. Scan that QR code on your screen to vote now. Here's the question: how should schools address anxiety among students during exam season? We gave you 5 choices, and the most votes, 51%, say reduce high-stakes testing to address anxiety among students during exam season. We thank all of you for voting, and we want to hear from you. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part, and I will have an update on 25 News Now at 10. The May 4th elections are this Saturday in Victoria County. You can go to one of 19 polling locations. They will be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. Then you can see Crossroads Today on YouTube. And stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 6, the Internal Revenue Service is increasing audits on people making millions of dollars. Also ahead, a utility company finds a new way to deliver electricity. U.S. Representative District 27 Michael Cloud voted no on a bill supposed to deal with anti-Semitism, but one that raised major constitutional concerns. In a statement, Congressman Cloud said, quote, what's happening towards our Jewish brothers and sisters is awful and should be dealt with. Playing leftist games and labeling things hate speech pretends we're doing something useful when we really aren't, unquote. The bill passed with 21 Republicans voting no. The Internal Revenue Service is planning to clamp down on tax cheating among the very wealthy. The agency says it will increase audits on people who earn more than $10 million from 11% to 16.5% by 2026. As for businesses, the IRS will triple audit rates for those with assets over $250 million. A utility company in Minnesota is using new technology to improve the way it delivers electricity. It's a futuristic-looking object that gets attached to a power line to collect data. The company that makes the device calls it a neuron.
A drone in 2 minutes is all it takes to install a Heimdall neuron onto a power line. Inside a neuron, thousands of dollars worth of sensors feeding back data about the power line in real time. Everything from temperature, angle, wind speed, and more.
What this technology does is it gives us many more insights into all the factors that influence how much power can flow on a line.
This actually does draw its power directly from the power line. So it can be up on the line for potentially decades without any maintenance. It has a battery, so if the line ever falls out, it will still send data for 6 months.
A pilot program by Great River Energy last year used just 4 neurons, but estimated the utility could increase capacity by more than 40% using the tech. This month, they're rolling out 52 neurons.
This power supply change is helping us be able to comply with Minnesota's carbon-free standard by 2040.
With more new energy sources connecting to the grid, Great River Energy says the knowledge the neurons provide is power, literally, allowing them to send more power over more lines safely and reliably.
A utility like Great River Energy will be able to increase the capacity on their lines by 30 to 40% at a fraction of the cost and time of putting up a new power line.
And that ultimately results in reduced costs for our customers. On top of that, with technology like this, we can delay capital investments and reprioritize those dollars to other projects that our members need.
Pretty amazing stuff. They use a drone to attach it to a high-powered line and to find out what kind of power is going through there. Very amazing. Anyway, folks, we had cloudy skies again today, not much of sunshine. It's okay, you know, I mean, that kept the temperature slightly down. We're at 80 degrees right about now, but we did get up to 86 this afternoon. 84 is the average. The problem is, I've been promising you for a couple of days that the temperatures are going to be up. Yep, they'll be up next week for sure into the 90s. But let's talk about all that stormy weather last night that missed us by less than 100 miles. We'll talk about that after this. Well, good evening, everybody. About this time yesterday, I was talking about the possibility of some severe weather. We were looking at all that stuff out in far west Texas, and it's moving in this direction. I didn't realize how close it would be. We missed it by that much. I mean, it was amazing because we didn't need the trouble. I mean, we wanted the rain, but no stormy weather. Here we are right about now. You can see the cloud deck still over us, but while most of the stuff in Houston has finally moved offshore, we're getting another area of stormy weather to the north up there near San Angelo. But let's take a look at what happened last night because it was pretty impressive. There's Austin, there's I-10. You can see the stormy weather just coming down to the I-10 corridor and then stopping. We did get a little rain just south of Hallettsville, but then all that rolled into Harris County, and all of that county was slammed by anywhere from 5 to 10 inches of rain. So, I mean, this is almost hurricane level rain stuff that fell with just this storm. Now, as our atmosphere continues warming up, there's a number that people are using. This is a research, this is scientific, that our storms are going to be 30% more intense in the future as the atmosphere starts building up more heat. So got to factor that in. So all of Harris County north all the way up to the Lake Livingston areas under flood watches today, and then out in far west Texas another line of storms is developing because it's not completely over with just yet. So let's take a look at what happened to Houston. Here is Victoria. Here's the little rain that occurred just south of Hallettsville. But as you take the big picture, look at that. There's the 10 inches of rain occurring throughout this area. And of course, as you know, as Houston grows, and it's grown enormously, it is paving over a lot of land. There's concrete everywhere, and the water doesn't have anywhere to go. This is all coming down into the Trinity River and also into the San Jacinto rivers. So they're having to open up the dams before the water blows over it, right? So they've got a real delicate balancing act between the incoming water and the outgoing water. Bottom line is somebody's house is going to get wet and it's going to be a problem. But this is, they're trying to balance the two sides of the floods, the incoming rain. Now, if they get more rain, well, it's just not going to be pretty. But that's the forecast. Watch this. We start your Thursday right now, 6 o'clock. We go forward. There's that line that I was showing you in West Texas. There's Austin, I-35. Not so much anything happening in Houston yet, but watch this. Big storms start rolling down into northeast Texas and into the watershed, and it could be another night of flooding in Houston tomorrow. And then we go into Friday and you say, okay, it's over, right? Well, no, there's going to be enough moisture to trigger a few more showers. In fact, there's another line. This is hopefully the last one that moves in our direction. Remember, the upper winds are flowing in this way. So as the storms get up really tall, they become sailboats and they start drifting toward us. This one's supposed to miss our area, but it's not supposed to miss Houston. So we'll watch and wait to see how that evolves because it's certainly been a very volatile springtime out there. Let's take a look at our local forecast. For those of you in Lavaca, getting up to about 84 tomorrow. In Cuero, you'll be getting up to about 85, 86. And then as we look at the next 7 days, your weekend looking pretty good for the activities with Cinco de Mayo. But look at this, in the 90s for next week. That is your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody we do have a QR code. Please scan that and you can put Crossroads Today on your phone. Right now, we'll toss it back to Don.
Mac, thank you. And Zach Brown is in Austin for the UIL State Track Meet Crossroads highlights next in sports.
Well, state season is here. We're here in Austin for the state UIL track and field meets, and it's just day one, and well, we get to see Class 3 and 4A in action today. Lots of people showed up to show support to their respective home teams, and we even had a pair of industrial pole vaulters to kick off the morning in Woodring and Matula. Now, they did not place, but it's always good to see the local guys get a chance to shine on a big stage. And in the long jump, we had Tidehaven's Mary Johnson and Yoakum's Joanna Phillips taking part. Johnson just did miss out on a medal, but Yoakum's Joanna Phillips, who's relatively new to the long jump, takes home the bronze. She's proud of her accomplishment and even more excited for her later events.
It feels great. It's a little sad because the weather's pretty bad. It's a little wet, and we're jumping into the wind. I jumped way better at regionals, but I feel like I can do even better with more practice and come back even harder next year. But I'm really excited for triple jump because our other Yoakum girl is in second place right now, so I'm hoping to go 1-2 with her.
Now we'll get back to Joanna in just a minute, but how about our first gold medal of the day? And this man is no stranger to winning. That is Caden Reagan, who was intense up there as he was trying to defend his gold medal from last year in the discus. He launched a beauty of a throw. This throw right here just over 174 feet, good enough to defend that title. And well, it's safe to say he was pumped up after the big win.
Feels great. I mean, I'm back-to-back state champ. What's better than that? I go out there, I give myself a few deep breaths, a little bit of flexing my muscles, just rah, rah, and then I'm going, and I'm throwing.
Now let's go back to Joanna Phillips and that triple jump. We actually had a triple threat of Crossroads athletes, two from Yoakum in Joanna Phillips and Jayla Hassler, and we had the recent UTSA commit from Goliad in Kyla Hill. Now, Kyla's going to get bronze in this one, and Joanna Phillips, who just missed gold in this event last year, takes it home this time. She's improved every week, breaking personal and school records, and did not disappoint when it mattered most. Congrats to Joanna on reaching that goal. And on the boys' side of things, El Campo's Oliver Miles, he thought he was going to have a chance to maybe break that triple jump record this year. He settles for second place. And coming up later tonight, the actual track events will have more updates as they come to us. Reporting from Austin, Zach Brown, KVUTV 25 News Now Sports.
Thank you, Zach, and we're back in a moment. The Olympic flame leaves Italy on a ship heading towards France for the Paris Summer Olympics. Tonight, the Olympic flame was under the protection of the Italian Coast Guard today as it makes its way to France for the Paris Summer Olympics along the shores of Italy. The flame is aboard a 19th century sailing ship in the Mediterranean Sea. On May 8th, the Olympic flame will start its journey across France before crossing the Atlantic, Indian, and Pacific Oceans before the Olympiad begins in Paris on July 26th. Boy, that's a lot of water. I'm telling you what.
The other way, I thought they were going to go from there to France, but they're going around the world first.
Yeah, I mean,
wow.
For people who love water sports, this is great, especially on the Olympics, you know, swimming and diving and yachting, sailing, rowing.
All of that.
All of that, and that is neat.
Yeah, I thought they're going from Greece to France. I'm going, well, that's a short trip.
Oh, yeah.
But
yeah.
no, they're going around the world first, then they're going to France.
Yeah, and fortunately for us, we don't have a lot of water because of the rain.
Yeah, we don't have the problem, but I'm sure they can get through all of that. Anyway, folks, we dodged a bullet last night. The severe weather rolled all to Houston. We didn't get much rain, but that's okay. We'll wait for another day. We're looking at a fairly quiet weekend. By tomorrow, only 20%. By Saturday, you know, pretty good sun, or at least some sun, and temperatures pushing into the upper 80s.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tonight for 25 News Now at 10. Have a good one.